You've probably done everything the experts told you. Switched to low-fat foods, picked whole grains, chose vegetable oils instead of butter. You believed you were protecting your heart. But what if I told you that some of these so-called healthy choices are quietly damaging it instead? That every spoonful, every sip might be feeding inflammation, clogging arteries, and confusing your metabolism, all while wearing the mask of health. The truth is, after 50, your heart becomes more sensitive to hidden ingredients that don't show up on labels. Today, we're uncovering 5 healthy foods that aren't so healthy after all. Before we dive in, take a moment to protect your own heart, not just with food, but with knowledge. If you care about staying strong, active, and full of life after 50, hit that subscribe button and join our senior wellness family. Let's learn, heal, and grow healthier together every week. Low-fat yogurt, the sugar trap disguised as health. You've seen it on every shelf: low-fat, heart-healthy, light, zero cholesterol. The packaging is soft, the promise is gentle, and the color's calm. It feels safe, doesn't it? Especially when you're trying to take care of your heart after 50. You might think, it's yogurt. How bad can it be? But here's the hidden truth most people never realize. The moment fat is removed from yogurt, it doesn't become healthy. It becomes hollow. And to make up for that lost flavor and texture, companies quietly load it with sugar, artificial thickeners, and flavor chemicals that your heart never asked for. When we were younger, our bodies could handle a little extra sugar without too much trouble. But after 50, everything changes. Your metabolism slows down, your insulin sensitivity weakens, and your arteries start reacting differently to what you eat. A single small cup of flavored low-fat yogurt can contain up to 25 grams of sugar. That's more than 6 teaspoons. And when that sugar hits your bloodstream, it doesn't just give you a quick burst of energy. It triggers a chain reaction. Your pancreas scrambles to release insulin. Your liver begins converting excess glucose into fat, and your arteries face an invisible storm of inflammation. This inflammation is what quietly stiffens your blood vessels, makes your heart work harder, and over time, increases your risk of high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and even heart failure. The irony? You thought you were helping your heart. That's how deceptive low-fat labeling can be. Many seniors fall into this trap because it's been drilled into us for decades. Fat is bad. Sugar is fine. But science has turned that belief upside down. Healthy fats, like those found in full-fat Greek yogurt, actually support your heart. They help stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings, and keep your arteries flexible. Meanwhile, the sugar in low-fat yogurt does the opposite. It causes spikes and crashes that leave you tired, hungry, and craving more, a cycle that strains your metabolism every single day. Another hidden issue is the type of ingredients added to replace fat. Read the fine print on the label, and you'll often find words like modified cornstarch, aspartame, acesulfame potassium, and fruit concentrate. These aren't foods your grandmother would recognize. They're lab-made fillers that thicken, sweeten, and color your yogurt, while secretly overworking your liver and confusing your gut bacteria. And your gut, as modern research shows, has a direct line to your heart health. A disrupted gut microbiome increases inflammation throughout your entire body, including your cardiovascular system. Here's something most doctors won't tell you bluntly. A calm, steady gut equals a calm, steady heart. When you eat artificial sweeteners or excess sugar, you disturb that balance. Your gut bacteria begin producing inflammatory compounds. Your blood pressure may rise subtly, and over time, your arteries lose flexibility. This doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, year after year, spoonful by spoonful. You might be thinking, so what should I eat instead? The answer isn't to give up yogurt altogether. It's to go back to basics. Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt or natural probiotic yogurt with live cultures. Yes, it tastes more sour at first, but that's the taste of truth, not disguise. Add a handful of fresh berries, a drizzle of raw honey, or a few crushed nuts for natural sweetness and texture. These small changes help you feed your heart the right way, with real nutrition, not artificial comfort. And here's something beautiful that often surprises seniors when they switch. Your taste buds begin to heal. After a few weeks, without the daily sugar hits from healthy yogurt cups, your body starts to recognize true flavor again. fruit tastes sweeter, yogurt tastes richer, and your cravings begin to fade. That's not a diet, that's a return to balance. The emotional part of this journey matters just as much as the science. Many people over 50 carry guilt or frustration when they realize they've been eating the wrong things, thinking they were right. But don't blame yourself. You were simply following advice that was never meant for your generation's biology. The food industry plays on trust and habit, especially among older adults who grew up believing that low fat equals good for the heart. Your heart doesn't need you to be perfect, it just needs you to be aware. Every small decision, like choosing real yogurt over flavored low-fat versions, is a quiet act of self-respect. It's saying to your body, I see you. I understand what you need now. So next time you reach for that pastel-colored cup of low-fat strawberry delight, pause. Flip it around. Read the label. If sugar or syrup is listed before the word milk, put it back. You deserve better than that. Let your yogurt and your choices be as honest as your intentions. Because a healthy heart isn't built by removing fat. It's built by removing confusion. And the truth, no matter how sour it tastes at first, will always nourish you better than any sweet lie ever could. Whole wheat bread, the hidden blood pressure raiser. For years, we've been told that switching from white bread to whole wheat bread is one of the smartest decisions we can make for our heart. Doctors, dietitians, and even TV commercials made it sound like a symbol of health. That deep brown color, the rustic texture, the words whole grain printed proudly on the package. But for people over 50, the truth isn't so simple. Many of those healthy loaves lining grocery store shelves are wolves in wheat's clothing, packed with refined flour, excess sodium, preservatives, and sweeteners that silently raise your blood pressure and sabotage your heart. Let's start with a reality most don't realize. The majority of commercial whole wheat bread isn't truly whole. Food companies are allowed to label bread as whole wheat, even if it contains more refined white flour than actual whole grain. They simply add caramel coloring or molasses to give it that comforting brown hue. It looks hearty and wholesome, but in your bloodstream, it behaves exactly like white bread, spiking your blood sugar, increasing insulin levels, and feeding the same inflammation that damages arteries over time. After 50, your body doesn't handle those sugar surges like it used to. Every slice of refined grain sends your blood sugar up faster, forcing your pancreas to work harder. This creates more insulin, and high insulin levels tell your body to store fat, especially around your belly. Belly fat, as doctors call it, is a dangerous type of visceral fat that wraps around your organs and releases inflammatory chemicals that stiffen your arteries. It's a quiet process that can lead to hypertension and even heart disease, all while you think you're eating healthy. Another hidden culprit is sodium. Some whole wheat breads contain up to 200 to 250 milligrams of sodium per slice. For someone over 50, that adds up fast. 2 slices at breakfast, 1 at lunch, and you've already eaten nearly half of your daily sodium limit without realizing it. High sodium intake increases fluid retention in your body. That means your heart has to pump harder to move blood through the extra volume, gradually straining the muscle and raising your blood pressure. But sodium and sugar aren't the only problems. Most breads today are loaded with vital wheat gluten, an additive that improves texture and chewiness. Gluten isn't inherently evil, but in excess, especially for aging digestive systems, it can trigger inflammation, bloating, and sluggish digestion. When your gut is inflamed, your entire body, including your cardiovascular system, feels it. The gut and heart are more connected than most realize. Inflammation in one often reflects inflammation in the other. And then there's the psychological trap. Whole wheat bread gives people a false sense of security. You might pile on more butter or jam or eat larger portions because it feels healthy. But when something only looks nutritious and isn't, it's even more dangerous because you let your guard down. The harm continues unnoticed for years until one day your doctor says, your blood pressure is higher than it used to be. So what can you do instead? The solution isn't to give up bread altogether. It's to choose the right kind. Look for bread made with 100% whole grains, or, even better, sprouted grains. Sprouted grain bread, like Ezekiel or other natural brands, uses seeds and grains that have begun germinating. This process breaks down anti-nutrients, reduces gluten content, and increases the bioavailability of vitamins like B6 and magnesium, both essential for maintaining normal blood pressure and heart rhythm. Another excellent option is oat-based or rye bread. Oats are rich in beta-glucans, soluble fibers that help reduce LDL cholesterol and support a healthy gut microbiome. Rye, on the other hand, digests more slowly, helping to stabilize blood sugar and keep you fuller longer. When your blood sugar stays balanced, your blood pressure and cholesterol tend to follow suit. Here's a practical rule. The shorter the ingredient list, the better it is for your heart. You don't need 15 ingredients to make bread, just whole grains, water, yeast, and salt. Avoid anything with enriched flour, high fructose corn syrup, or dough conditioners. Those are red flags for processed bread disguised as health food. If you enjoy baking, try making your own simple loaf at home using whole grain flour and seeds. The act of baking itself can be surprisingly therapeutic, and you'll know exactly what's in it. Plus, freshly baked bread, when eaten mindfully and in moderation, can bring joy without guilt. And joy, too, is medicine for the heart. Don't let clever marketing fool you. Your body doesn't read labels, it reacts to ingredients. Whole wheat bread from the supermarket often delivers the same glycemic load and sodium stress as junk food, only in polite packaging. For seniors, every bite matters. Your heart deserves food that supports it, not strains it. So the next time you're at the grocery store, turn the bag around before trusting the front. Look past the buzzwords and focus on the truth hiding in fine print. The bread that truly nourishes you doesn't come from a slogan. It comes from nature, from simplicity, and from awareness. Because your heart has worked hard for you all these years. The least we can do is feed it honesty, one slice at a time. Vegetable oils, the everyday heart poison. For decades, we've been told that vegetable oils are the heart-healthy heroes, a modern replacement for butter, ghee, and animal fats. They've been praised for being light, cholesterol-free, and full of unsaturated fats. But behind those golden bottles of sunflower, soybean, and corn oil hides a dangerous truth that very few people talk about, one that especially matters if you're over 50. These oils, when processed and heated, can silently inflame your arteries, disrupt your metabolism, and set the stage for heart disease. To understand why, we need to look at what these oils actually are. Most vegetable oils come from seeds, not vegetables. Extracting oil from seeds like soy, corn, or sunflower requires intense industrial processing. The seeds are heated to high temperatures, then treated with chemical solvents like hexane, bleached, deodorized, and finally bottled. By the time they reach your kitchen, they're no longer natural. They're fragile, oxidized, and chemically altered substances, nothing your ancestors would have recognized as food. The main problem lies in their omega-6 fatty acid content. Your body needs a balance between omega-3 anti-inflammatory and omega-6 pro-inflammatory fats. Ideally, that ratio should be around 1:1 or 1:2. But modern diets, flooded with vegetable oils, push that ratio to 120 or even higher. The result? Chronic inflammation. Inflammation doesn't announce itself with pain or redness like an injury would. It works quietly, attacking your blood vessel walls, stiffening arteries, and allowing cholesterol to stick more easily. Over time, this leads to plaque buildup, narrowing of arteries, and increased risk of high blood pressure and heart attacks. So when you drizzle that heart-friendly oil over your salad or fry an egg with it, you may actually be feeding the very condition you're trying to prevent. There's another hidden danger: oxidation. Vegetable oils are extremely unstable when exposed to heat, light, or air. Every time you cook with them, especially frying or sautéing, the oil molecules break down and produce harmful compounds called free radicals. These free radicals damage cells throughout your body, especially in your blood vessels, where they oxidize LDL cholesterol. And oxidized LDL is what clogs arteries, not regular cholesterol. So, ironically, in the pursuit of lowering cholesterol, many people over 50 are consuming the very oils that make cholesterol more dangerous. Think about this: butter or ghee, which were demonized for years, remain stable at high temperatures. But vegetable oils like canola, sunflower, and soybean break apart easily under heat, releasing toxins like aldehydes, which are linked to heart disease and even cancer. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but your body certainly feels it. And it doesn't end there. These oils are everywhere. Even if you avoid frying at home, they sneak into salad dressings, mayonnaise, chips, crackers, baked goods, and restaurant meals. The average person consumes nearly 20% of their daily calories from seed oils, often without realizing it. That constant intake fuels a low-level fire in your body that never fully goes out. For someone over 50, whose cells are already more sensitive to oxidative stress, this daily exposure accelerates aging and weakens heart muscle function. So, what's the alternative? The answer isn't to eliminate all fats, it's to choose the right ones. Your heart thrives on healthy, stable fats that nourish rather than inflame. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the best choices. It's rich in antioxidants called polyphenol, which fight inflammation and protect your arteries from damage. Unlike seed oils, olive oil remains stable at moderate cooking temperatures and has been proven in countless studies to reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Another excellent option is avocado oil. It's high in monounsaturated fats, similar to olive oil, and has a higher smoke point, meaning it stays stable even during light frying. For traditional cooking, especially in South Asian or Middle Eastern households, small amounts of pure ghee or cold-pressed mustard oil can actually be beneficial. Ghee, when used in moderation, provides butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that supports gut health, which in turn supports the heart. The goal isn't to go back in time, but to go back to balance. Before the industrial era, people cooked with fats that came directly from nature: olive oil, coconut oil, butter, animal fat from healthy animals. They didn't fear fat, they feared sickness. Today it's reversed. We fear fat, but live in a world full of sickness. For seniors, this shift back to real, stable fats can make a world of difference. Within weeks of reducing vegetable oils, many people notice less bloating, more energy, and even lower blood pressure. Over time, markers of inflammation drop, and the heart functions more efficiently. Here's a practical tip for your kitchen. If it comes in a clear plastic bottle, sits on a shelf for months, and is labeled refined or blended, it's best to leave it there. Instead, choose oils in dark glass bottles marked cold-pressed or extra virgin. These are less processed and retain their natural antioxidants. And remember, you don't need large amounts. Fat isn't the enemy. Excess and oxidation are. A spoonful of pure oil used wisely is far safer than a pan full of something cheap and unstable. Think of your arteries as quiet rivers carrying life through you. The wrong oil thickens those waters and fills them with debris. The right one keeps them flowing, smooth, clean, and strong. So next time you hear an ad promising a heart-healthy vegetable oil, smile gently and walk away. Your heart doesn't need marketing. It needs honesty. Feed it with oils that nature made, not machines. Because the best way to protect your heart isn't by following trends. It's by returning to the simple, timeless wisdom our grandparents already knew. Granola bars, the energy snack that ages your arteries. We've all seen them, those shiny, colorful wrappers promising energy, fiber, and natural goodness. Granola bars have become the go-to snack for people trying to live healthy, especially for older adults who want something quick, easy, and better than junk food. You might even keep a few in your purse or car for emergencies. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most granola bars are not heart-friendly. In fact, they're one of the sneakiest sources of sugar, refined grains, and oxidized oils. A silent trio that accelerates aging in your arteries and drains vitality from your heart. The image of granola bars comes from a good place: oats, nuts, honey, and dried fruits. That sounds wholesome, doesn't it? But what's actually inside most store-bought bars is a far cry from that simple picture. To make them shelf-stable and sweet, manufacturers drown the oats in corn syrup, brown sugar, and seed oils like soybean or sunflower oil. Add to that the sticky coatings, chocolate drizzle, or yogurt topping, and suddenly your so-called health snack starts to resemble candy with a marketing degree. For people over 50, this is especially dangerous. Your metabolism doesn't process sugar as efficiently as it once did. When you eat a granola bar, the sugar rush hits your bloodstream quickly, causing insulin to spike. That spike triggers fat storage and, worse, inflammation inside your arteries. This inflammation makes the inner walls of your blood vessels more sticky, allowing cholesterol and fat particles to cling and form plaque. Over time, this process hardens your arteries, the very definition of heart aging. What's even more deceptive is how the packaging hides the damage. Terms like whole grain, high fiber, and no added sugar often create a false sense of security. For example, no added sugar doesn't mean the bar is sugar-free. It may contain fruit concentrates, rice syrup, or date paste, all of which spike blood sugar nearly as fast as regular sugar. High fiber sounds great, but if that fiber comes from added powders like inulin or chicory root rather than real grains or seeds, it does little to protect your heart. And then there are the oils. Most granola bars use cheap, refined vegetable oils to bind the ingredients together. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation when consumed in excess. Combine that with sugar, and you've created the perfect storm for arterial stress. The sugar triggers oxidation, and the oils amplify the damage. It's like pouring gasoline on a slow-burning fire inside your cardiovascular system. If that wasn't enough, many granola bars contain additives and preservatives that further burden your liver, the organ responsible for processing fats and sugars. Over time, this constant low-level stress leads to metabolic changes that increase triglycerides, reduce good HDL cholesterol, and heighten your risk of heart disease. So, what's the alternative? The good news is you don't have to give up snacking. You just need to snack smarter. Instead of store-bought bars, you can make your own heart-friendly granola bars at home. It's easier than it sounds. Mix rolled oats, a handful of chopped nuts, chia or flax seeds, a drizzle of raw honey, and a bit of nut butter. Bake lightly until golden and store them in the fridge. Unlike commercial bars, these won't contain hydrogenated oils, artificial sweeteners, or corn syrup, just real food that nourishes your heart instead of harming it. If making your own isn't an option, look for brands with 5 ingredients or fewer, all recognizable. Oats, nuts, seeds, honey, or dried fruit. Avoid anything with soy protein isolate, vegetable oil, or syrup in the list. The shorter the list, the safer it usually is. Another simple option? Skip the bar altogether. Grab a small handful of raw nuts, almonds, walnuts, or pistachios, and a piece of fruit. This combination gives you healthy fats, fiber, and natural sweetness without the blood sugar roller coaster. Nuts, in particular, contain magnesium and L-arginine, which help your blood vessels relax and reduce pressure on your heart. At this stage in life, your body doesn't need quick bursts of energy. It needs sustained, calm fuel. The right snacks should make you feel steady, not jittery. Granola bars promise energy, but they deliver inflammation. Real food, on the other hand, gives energy that lasts. So, the next time you unwrap a granola bar, ask yourself, is this snack feeding my heart or fooling it? Don't let clever packaging and buzzwords trick you into believing sugar and oil are wholesome. Your heart deserves better fuel. The best energy doesn't come in a wrapper, it comes from wisdom, the kind that chooses simplicity over slogans. Because aging gracefully isn't just about living longer, it's about living lighter, with a heart that beats strong, clean, and calm. And that begins with one mindful choice at a time, even in something as small as a snack. Diet soda, the zero-calorie illusion that confuses your heart. It sounds perfect, doesn't it? Zero sugar, 0 calories, 0 guilt. For many people over 50, diet sodas seem like a smart alternative, a way to enjoy sweetness without the sugar crash. You might even feel proud choosing a can of Diet Cola instead of the regular one, thinking, at least I'm not adding sugar to my body. But beneath that crisp fizz and cheerful promise of zero lies something very real, a slow, silent confusion inside your body that can lead to serious heart problems over time. The first illusion of diet soda is in its sweetness. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and acesulfame potassium are up to 200 to 600 times sweeter than sugar. When that kind of intense sweetness hits your tongue, your brain lights up, expecting a rush of glucose. But when no real sugar arrives, your body gets confused. insulin is still released, your hunger hormones increase, and your metabolism begins to falter. For someone over 50 whose insulin sensitivity is already lower, this confusion can create chaos, leading to weight gain, insulin resistance, and higher risk of heart disease. Many studies have shown that people who drink diet soda regularly are more likely to develop high blood pressure, stroke, and type 2 diabetes than those who don't. The irony? Most started drinking diet soda to avoid those very conditions. The problem isn't just the artificial sweeteners. It's how they alter your body's expectations and internal chemistry. Let's talk about what happens inside your gut. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that influence everything from your digestion to your mood. And yes, your heart. Artificial sweeteners disrupt this delicate balance by killing beneficial bacteria and promoting the growth of harmful ones. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can increase inflammation throughout the body. Chronic inflammation stiffens arteries, raises blood pressure, and makes it harder for blood to flow smoothly. Now imagine this process happening day after day, can after can. You may not feel it, but your blood vessels do. The walls of your arteries begin to lose elasticity, and your heart must pump harder to push blood through. Over time, that constant pressure weakens the very muscle you're trying to protect. Another hidden danger is the psychological one. Diet sodas trick your brain into craving more sweets. You might skip sugar in your drink, but your body still demands it elsewhere, in snacks, desserts, or even extra portions at meals. That constant craving cycle keeps your blood sugar and appetite unstable, making weight management harder as you age. And excess weight, especially around the belly, is one of the biggest predictors of heart disease after 50. But the effects don't stop at metabolism. Research from major heart associations shows that even one diet soda a day can raise the risk of stroke and dementia in older adults. Scientists believe this happens because artificial sweeteners interfere with vascular function, the ability of blood vessels to expand and contract. When your arteries lose that flexibility, your heart works overtime, leading to fatigue, irregular heartbeat, and over the years, even heart failure. You might be wondering, so what should I drink instead? The good news is your body doesn't need flashy substitutes. It needs hydration that heals. The simplest and most powerful choice is water infused with nature. Add slices of lemon, cucumber, or mint leaves. Try herbal teas like hibiscus or chamomile, which naturally lower blood pressure and calm the nervous system. For a refreshing, lightly sweet taste, add a splash of pure fruit juice to sparkling water. Not enough to spike sugar levels, just enough to bring flavor and satisfaction. If you crave the fizz, there's no harm in enjoying carbonated mineral water with a squeeze of citrus. It hydrates you, supports digestion, and gives you the same satisfaction without the chemicals. The goal isn't to punish yourself, but to reconnect with flavors that are real, simple, and nourishing. Breaking the diet soda habit can take time, especially if it's been part of your daily routine for years. Start by reducing slowly. Replace 1 can a day with flavored water. Then, over time, train your taste buds to appreciate subtler sweetness. You'll be amazed at how your cravings fade and your natural energy returns. And here's the part most people never expect. When you stop drinking diet soda, your body feels calmer. Your sleep improves, your digestion steadies, and your mood evens out. That's your nervous system thanking you for removing the chemical noise. Remember, your heart isn't just a pump. It's deeply connected to your mind, your gut, and your emotions. When one finds peace, the others follow. So the next time that silver can tempt you with 0 calories, remember that health isn't about zeros. It's about balance, rhythm, and honesty with your body. You don't need a drink that tricks your senses to feel good. What your heart needs most is truth, in your food, your habits, and your daily choices. Let every sip you take from now on be a gift to your heart, pure, calm, and real. Because no artificial sweetness can ever match the strength of a body that's finally at peace with itself.